She's really holding her own now back in the LCS.
Yeah, there is a lot of kiting and disengage on the XDG team, but they really do have to worry about just having the damage to take down a full tank Shyvana if Nyen goes that way.
Well, we're going to be on to the Rift. The fans are ready. The Poros are being shaken in honor of this next game. We're going to have everybody making their way to lane. Looks like we got some pretty even all lanes. Duos to the bottom and the solo lanes to mid and top. We'll have to see what Doublelift does, though. With CLG picking Jinx, usually we see her in the top lane, but there's really nothing that we've seen lately to initiate that.
Jinx definitely opens up more opportunities to do 2v1s because she just kills turrets so damn quickly that it wouldn't matter. They actually pushed Doublelift back here, so Xmithy snuck in partially undetected. I believe Doublelift saw him on the next go-around, though.
Like 80 carries to middle. This is really what everybody does nowadays is Dexter and Xmithy meet each other. Q for Volatile Spider.
Good jungle trades.
Yeah. Man, no cleavers up top. I feel like we're missing out on something right now.
They don't want to play that game. Ooh, that's actually a pretty hefty amount of harass. Eve takes a lot of damage early on in the jungle, so that might actually force Xmithy to shop. It would give CLG an opportunity to do an invade, but since they're so spread out, it's not going to happen.
They weren't ready to do that much damage. Sure, they're happy they did, though.
I definitely like the amount of just overall area of effect damage that CLG has brought while still mustering small lanes. Oftentimes when you have kind of that AoE teamfight comp, you are sacrificing having weak lanes, but just the general matchups, I think Doublelift and Afro against Zuna and Sheep, with their skills should be able to push out. Link will probably be able to trade shove with ManCloud, and Shyvana will be able to shove out Mundo. So a very strong champion select phase by CLG.
These supports are really going to have to try to save their AD carries in the lanes. We remember Alphamu's solar flares have been absolutely on point lately, but so were Sheep's when he had that Leona, the Zenith Blade, to start this one off. It's like Sheep started off possibly with Dark Binding here as the shield does not come up.
It had just missed, which is what prompted Alphamu to go in. I also find this interesting that Dexter started at his red buff. Oftentimes you'll see junglers start on the same side as their duo lane. Afro continuing to get aggressive. They want to hit level 2 and then go. It's all about how much early trade damage they can get while they're dashing for those creep kills.
Sheep is doing a very good job at trading the same amount of damage back on the other side. The potions have quickly been popped here in a very aggressive bottom lane.
When the third creep dies when they hit level 2, looks like XDG's going to beat him to it. Nope. There we go.
They got the missile on the double kill there.
All that posturing just to trade level 2s. At this point, the Black Shield has been skilled up, so the stun combo isn't nearly as reliable for Leona.
Xmithy making good time on the jungle. He's a little bit ahead of Dexter right now. Zuna going to ward. Very scary. That's actually what cost Wild Turtle a kill in the bottom lane just recently, but they're safe.
Afmer went a little bit earlier there with the ward.
Good control, trying to get control of the brush in the bottom lane. Sheep just standing pretty much hip to hip with Afromu. Xmithy knows that any lane kills are going to be coming from a little bit of tilt. Nice job on the ManCloud. A very good satchel charge, one after the other, and they force the flash. That repel is going to be back.
Yes, Dexter with a creative path got around the ward that ManCloud had placed in the river. Very nice to get that flash down. There's the Black Shield we talked about.
One after the other.
Then they get Leona in. That's how it works.
That's going to hurt a lot. The Ignite is down. The auto attacks can be there. The flash from Flash. One last shot, but the potion was ticking. It keeps Afromu alive.
Drinking the biscuit was so key, and now junglers fight.
It looks like it's going to be a good amount of damage here for Dexter. He's been winning, but he's out of mana. Would have had to switch to his spider form. He would have been good to go, but they back off for now. Great aggression across the map.
What's really important to note about what just happened in the bottom lane is both XGG bottom laners flashed forward to try and get those kills. So if CLG gets a gank, the flashes are down, but Afromu is getting sniped by Sheep's Dark Bindings.
This new bottom lane again taking on a veteran bottom lane and pushing them out early. Dexter getting a little bit dicey here. He's making his way into the jungle.
Trying really hard to counter jungle Eve because he knows he has the trading advantage, but he's continually missing on these opportunities. Yes, he'll get it here, but no real advantage gained on Xmithy throughout.
Just trying to get what he can since he does not find the kill in the overall invade here. 200 to 300 gold slowly accruing for XDG over that pile of CLG and Zuna and Sheep back on the turret once again. Easy to poke for Zuna.
They got to watch out about this Link roam, though. He's came all the way through the back of the jungle. There are no wards here. And remember, no flashes on either XDG member. If Africa can get something.
There it is. The Zenith Blade still going to bring you. Waiting for that Daybreak to go on. A nice dark binding, but from the backside, they hit it. Who are they going to give it to, though? And it does go first blood over to Link. Great roam.
Great bait there by Aphromoo. They had set up the lane for that kill, if you think about it, because Sheep had found so much success letting Aphromoo land the Zenith Blade just so they could turn around a lot of damage. So he kind of let that Zenith Blade land while Link was coming around the back, baited them into the kill perfectly, gets CLG first blood.
Very nice job. CLG doing what they need to. We have to remember that their games come off a lot of strong movement. So if they win this laning phase, it's going to look like they had everything planned out from that laning phase on out. 6 minutes in, so far so good.
Yeah. And I just have to say credit to Link as well for getting the window with which to roam bottom lane. It is very difficult to go toe-to-toe with that Lulu in the mid lane and even get the angle to come around the back of the Dragon Pit. You need to get a lot of advantages just to make it into that point. You can see now a pink ward has been placed right in the spot where Link roamed down because XGG can't let that happen again.
And when's the pressure you usually see from Neve? Is it instant? Do you wait? Because Smithy hasn't been doing too much just yet.
Yeah, well, there has been a little bit of presence by Dexter keeping him down, and it is definitely around level 5 or 6 where Eve really starts coming in strong. You can notice how there's almost no wards on the map by CLG aside from those 2 pinks in the river. Because what's the point of warding against Eve? She is invisible for the most part.
Very true. 800, or 500 gold rather at 8.8. Just above XDG. Dexter in the mid lane looking to come up behind Link on this one. Looks like they're actually just going to gain a little bit of positioning. A very deep ping behind the red buff they may go for a ward.
So they're getting seen by that pink ward. Nice binding by Sheep, though.
On to Zuna. A good lockdown there. Double F taking quite a bit of damage. Forced to flash out of this. His barrier is not up yet. And deep wards being placed by Dexter during that engagement.
Aphromoo and Double Lift playing a dangerous game down there. Getting hit by a lot of bindings. Dexter finds a friend.
Oh, very nice Cocoon. Gonna get some primo damage off of that one. Still level 5s for the junglers. We can see it's about half experience there for them. So no 6s just yet. 46 to 39 in the bottom lane, but the assist goes to Doublift on that aggression earlier.
Yeah, Elise is tremendously powerful in dueling situations. And what Dexter has done should actually not be understated right now because he's finding Eve, where normally you have no idea where he is, and it's really saving his lanes a lot of ability to just get stuff done. He's also pushed Sheep around the wrong side. He is just assassin with those binds, though.
Well, they've done a great job with that deep pink ward. We talked about them pinging out earlier on the red buff. Nobody's really going to walk through that, so they have Smithy every time he wants the buff, and possibly this time around.
Yeah. I do really have to say, though, with Dexter keeping Eve down, so to speak, his counter jungling, even though he's not getting much actual counter jungling done or any kills, the value he is creating for his team is just knowledge of Eve, which they would have no way of getting if Dexter wasn't putting himself in those dangerous situations invading the enemy jungle. It's the reason Smithy hasn't found kills.
Well, Dexter being the shot caller can easily put those stressful situations on himself and not have to worry about the team. He's been doing it well. Looks like they call for the dragon as they also get blue buff going over. Actually, Dexter, I believe, got that one for himself.
They didn't even finish off the blue buff. They just saw the opportunity to just rush this right now. There's a collapse coming from XGG, but they do not have the people.
They have to repel out. He does get to the bottom side. It looks like Dexter can keep himself safe, flashing over the wall to do that, though. And XDG is forced to kind of chase the chaos.
More organization by CLG than by XDG right there. Teleport burn for nothing. Dragon not taken. No advantages gained. Everything to CLG. Dragon plus turret pressure. Just a huge amount of benefits from CLG because XGG could not collapse in time.
That teleports down for Benny in the top lane as well. He's going to have to take the long walk back up there, and it's already Nian trying to deny that experience. Farming behind the turret. Still see what Sheep can do for the team. Him and Benny were a huge factor when XDG broke out of the lanes in their last game.
Yeah, so much attention has been paid to this bottom lane as well. Because Sheep has been very solid with his Dark Bindings. They were so close to getting that first kill onto Aphromoo. I think if they got that, the story of this lane would be so much different. But even so, Doublift and Afro are really just trying to stay alive here. XGG would be hoping that Afro would get aggressive here, but CLG, especially during their win streak, have been very good at finding appropriate windows to do things. There's no need for them to get aggressive at the moment. They've been trading farm. The lane was shoving against them. They knew they had no jungle presence or mid lane support because Link was going back. So they were just going to patiently let the lane get pushed. There was no reason they would get aggressive there. And in turn, it wastes Xsmithy's time.
Deep ward placed by Xsmithy. Hopefully he can stop if Dexter is coming to the bottom lane. Zuna and Sheep have just been all over CLG's turret area. They haven't really been putting too much damage on the turret, but definitely keeping them pushed up.
Dexter's going to walk through ward with these double buffs. Benny saw.
Slowly walking. Yep, not going to be able to get a red buff proc on there to slow for the gank. Benny's safe in the top lane. His flash is up as well. They're just trying to get what they can. Find some openings with that ward in the bottom lane. Hopefully Xsmithy can now dodge Dexter a little bit more. As we said, he's completely had his number all game long. Now going mid lane.
CLG is hyper vigilant of where XDG is right now. You saw about 4 pings go down when Xsmithy warded the brush where the pink ward was. It's because everyone on CLG said, Eve, right here. It just enables all the other lanes to know where Eve is and helps them continue their farming.
Athene's Unholy Grail looks to be the build here for both Link and ManCloud in mid. ManCloud 105, but there was that roam from Link that got him the kill, so that discrepancy could have come from that. But ManCloud has not died yet this game, which is usually something that a team would have taken advantage of already and put a lot of pressure there. Yeah,
it's something that ManCloud's been doing a lot of in their struggles this season. Even in their victory yesterday, he had died. Pink ward battles in that brush. CLG has to get that control back because that's the path he likes to take for ganks. So even though the other pink ward got killed, that's not going to dissuade them from continuing to ward that spot. A lot of times people undervalue pink wards because they think, oh, as soon as someone kills it, it's dead. Well, if they don't kill it, it'll last forever. And the vision is still supplied in that area. I imagine that next pink ward will last greater than 3 minutes.
Also been a much slower lane for these top, or I wouldn't say slow lane, it's always a slow one in the top lane, but no ganks for Benny on Mundo. These guys are completely on an island.
Yeah, in the last game we saw this Mundo Shyvana matchup in the TSM versus Cloud9 game, actually. And there was a very dominating performance by the Shyvana in that one. Even though Benny is getting out farmed, it is to be expected. He's surviving like he should.
Blade of the Rune King coming up for Nian on that one with the Negatron Cloak to stop a little bit of that cleaver damage, even though they got skinnier. They still hurt. Well, at least not yet, I guess. But we see the Sunfire Cape onto Benny being built up. He'll try to get himself in a position where this does not hurt as much, but for now, he's going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, and this game's going to get pretty dicey pretty soon because there's been a lot of farming, but as you can see, 2 minutes for the next dragon. And ManCloud's at a point where he's actually quite strong on Lulu. This is exactly when Lulu teams start getting scary. And Eve wants to continue to make an impact, but COD's lanes have just been playing so well. I think the dragon fight is where none of that can happen again.
Oh, no! They missed quite a bit to start this off, though. The Wild Growth surely should save him, and CLG gets a little antsy on what should have been a sure kill.
Look at what Lulu just did to Dexter.
Second Glitter Lance. That's painful.
This is why the Athene's Unholy Grail Lulu is just absurd in lane. You get 1 help picks on someone, you get 2 Glitter Lances off. Danger all over the place. He walked unknown into 2 of them. Obviously, the stun missed, which could have turned it completely around for him. But once that didn't happen, you just nearly blew him up.
ManCloud showing a little bit more proficiency on the Lulu. Last week we saw a few fumbles, but right now really cleaning those up. Showing strong play, a level ahead of Link right now with that CS lead, even being a kill behind. He's doing good for himself. Can definitely be that part of the team they need him to be to carry.
Farming quite well.
He's holding it on. 100 to 106 in the bottom lane. Zuna going even again. He went even last time in lane with the help of Sheep, and they came out very big. But the game went very long, and we said that they might not want that this time. XDG needs to go early here.
Yeah, definitely feels like CLG has the superior late game composition with all the damage they can bring in. Doublelift already finishing that Bloodthirster. Despite Morgana being a counterpick to Leona, and Afromu actually getting caught a little bit with some early bindings. Doublelift and Afro just now starting to get that CS lead.
Dragon's Descent is up to stop a teleport from Benny if he wants it. This turret's going down, so the Dragon would be very nice to be able to engage on. Some good damage on Nian, but Benny backs off for now.
Doesn't even burn his ultimate during all that. Lots of pressure from the Shyvana. That is to be expected, but the Dragon is live. And that was really key that Nien didn't burn his ultimate there. Benny did. Let's see if this dragon fight ends up happening. We could see a Mundo teleport in, but even so, I think this is just a straight up 4v4. Big damage from Zigzbomb.
Good hit.
Really powerful push. They're very low.
Whoa! Sheep was not able to really do anything
and
on that one.
It.
This smite coming in from Dexter on the play. The shot calls are being made, and the team follows through, and they listen clearly. Good kills coming out. They get one. Xmithia is very low. Benny with a satchel charge backwards. That was the welcome home mat. Another kill coming in.
Absolute disaster for XGG. I think CLG is now in complete control of this game. Nothing went right for XGG in that dragon fight. They didn't even burst it down. They didn't get the dragon, and they cornered themselves in the dragon pit to get wrecked by CLG's AoE. Disaster for XGG.
Twice now an engagement at Dragon, and Nien is in the top lane, taking a turret. Deja Vu coming in. Nien's going to get that for himself. 16 minutes into the game, another turret will fall. So 2 turrets and the Dragon. That is a ridiculous amount of gold surge.
That's why it was such a disaster, because XGG had everything go wrong while they invested everything into it. Like, look at this. They take so much damage from the Dragon and the auxiliary AoE from CLG, and then, like, every single thing went wrong for them. They had no teleport for Mundo when he came in from behind. He also came in late after the fight was over. They didn't get a single kill. The Dragon was stolen away from them, and the side lanes were split pushing. A Mundo without his ultimate is not really a Mundo. CLG, much crisper, better Dragon fighting team composition, and got the jump on XGG, and stole the Dragon. Just now it's 6,000 gold to 16.
A lot of threes for CLG. They have 3 wins in a row. 3-0 here. Kill onto Dexter. I guess it's 3-1 now. They kind of cancel out that statistic. But the soul shackle from Sheep. Good damage on this. Oh, whoa! Link coming out of the backside here. He flashes into the fight. The satchel does not let ManCloud escape on that one, and they won't go for Sheep without the vision.
CLG with the turn. Big damage coming up from Link landing the AoE. ManCloud had burned all of his spells on the initial fight for Dexter. Worth the sacrifice. Now 4 kills on Link, and turret number 4 going to come for CLG.
Well, it's not going to be that early game that XDG wanted, so it means it's going to get even harder, especially with double lift in the bottom lane. Now 40 CS, nearly 40 CS ahead. You can see the 1v1 situation pretty much in his favor on this. The choppers goes down, the barrier comes out. The ultimate is not up for him, and wait a minute, he forced to blow his barrier. Afro was on the backside. There's the snipe on the solar flare, but what is going on right now?
Afromoo got a little overconfident, I think it's safe to say. That was a mistake. The double lift got cute with his damage to Zuna. He'd used his ultimate previously to help out with the fight in mid lane. Otherwise, that could have been a nice execute onto Zuna. Nice play overall by XGG to get something back. But they are still in a whole world of trouble. There's a double buff Ziggs in their jungle.
The thing is, we even heard the teams talk about this earlier. Even when you're ahead, you can make small mistakes.
Not that way.
And CLG is still in the driver's seat. The volatile spider doesn't go off on the next one. It actually gets called back.
So Doublelift does have his ultimate. Is he going to take a shot? Woo! Wide right.
Whoa. That was a nice try.
Hey, at least he thought about it. There was actually a nice scout by Sheep. He was ahead of him, so they could see the ultimate flying by, and Zuna would have known to dodge in either direction.
Benny trying to do what he can to keep this top turret held. In the end, by himself, has taken down those 2 top turrets. He really didn't get any pressure this game. Like we said, those guys have been left on an island, and they're still up there. Hopefully they can get off soon and start helping the rest of the team. For CLG, they really don't need to, but Benny may be needed in these fights soon, as CLG is just dictating the fight in the lanes. Too hard.
Yeah, and honestly, coming into this, it seemed like the top lane was going to be a place XG could maybe attack, because during this win streak and upsurge from CLG, it seemed like everyone had really taken huge steps forward, and Yen was still kind of just sitting as that normal top laner who wasn't doing much. But this time he's really been unlocked to do even more. 2 teleports down from Benny, 2 turret kills by Nien by himself, and now he's just saying hi, takes half of Smithy's damage.
Nien knows what he's doing. 7 plays this season on Shyvana. It's his highest played champion with 4 wins. He's doing great. The lane's his. He knows that he needs to win. Knows he doesn't need to do anything extra. But we've said that about the whole CLG team. They are playing very organized, and they're playing very clean. They're not pushing themselves out of a comfort zone here. Nien, backside of ManCloud.
Stepping up as well.
This might be a wild growth that's forced out here. ManCloud going very low. The wild growth is there, and the Lulu is going to be going down on that one. See Smithy trying to get himself out of a bad situation here, and he should be all right eventually.
Pretty
with that
far
blue
from
buff.
home. I mean, he's got his ultimate for the slow.
Whoa, the flash on here. The Ignite's already down. Smithy could be getting himself, giving over, I should say. A blue buff. Oh, the rocket from the backside. Tries to get what he can. Smithy's just going to walk this one out. Where's the team, though? Are they trying to come up behind him? You see a bit of the sheep on the help. There's a black shield. Go, the siege minion. Not going to be enough to kill him. Benny's getting taken down. Afro-Moo and Doublelift don't even turn around. They got their food in front of them, and they're just trying to play with it. Sheep's going to be going down on this one. He can't get enough damage on this. In the end, it's so close, but not enough. Benny wants to see if he can get one last cleaver filed. Not enough either.
Yeah, I think not enough is the mantra of the game for XDG so far. Everything has been short for them, and CLG has taken advantage every step of the way. Dragon Fight 1 to Dragon Fight 2 to every single extended chase here. CLG was kind of disorganized here, but as far as being incredibly far ahead, it doesn't matter. Doublelift was trying to KS before he actually decided to engage. They fully engaged onto a tank instead of the squishies in the back. Doublelift was like, oh, wait a minute, I can just get a kill? Okay, I'll take the kill. And then they just decided to turn on to Sheep at their leisure. It was a completely one-sided stomp there by CLG, and because they were so far ahead, they didn't get picked off.
Still so far ahead, 9,000 gold at 21 minutes into the game. We're going to see 5-0 in those turrets. Very clean game from CLG right now. Lynx roam, even though down 20 in CS, has put them at 4-0-4. That laning phase really wasn't anything they were worried about. Looks like the Dragon is going to be a take for them. Dexter gets that smite. They also got the steal on the last one as well, so they really have their mindset on everything to keep them in the lead.
And now, in the next few minutes, we're going to get to see how decisive CLG has become as well.
True.
They used to be a very late-game team. Now with this huge lead, it is a little bit of a test and a challenge for CLG to try to end this one as quickly as possible. Yesterday, we actually had some of our longest games in LCS this season. Today, maybe some of the shortest.
Wow, Doublelift getting the turret down as XDG try to formulate a fight on this one, but they cannot get an initiation. ManCloud and Smithy both kind of running scared. Nian on the backside takes a Glitter Lance, but he is comfortable to take 4v1 there and walk out.
There's the tried initiation. Let's see what XDG can
Smithy
do.
throws down the ultimate. Is it enough to get in? Sheep taking quite a bit of damage. He gets a Soul Shackle, but only on to Afro-Moo as the support wars continue. Link flashes in for the auto attack kill. The rest of the team is just getting lane pushed in. Looks like it could be a Baron.
Look at this, straight to Baron. They know every ultimate was down from XDG in that fight. I don't even know if they're going to find that pink ward because this is very obvious where XDG is going. Now that pink ward is just minding its own business. Do the Baron anyway, guys. It's going to be hard for XDG to steal. Smithy does have flash. Even with the steal, I think they still are way far behind.
Baron's down to 2.5. 2.2. It looks like they're taking a little bit slower here as they make sure it's going to be theirs. Dexter does get it. Baron number 1 of the game. Benny very, very locked up, but the Chompers won't get him anymore. So it looks like they're going to be able to clear out on that fight. Woo! Nice hit onto Smithy. No execution to be had there with the HP that he had, so they're safe.
Gotta say, Doublelift has had very poor aim with his ultimate this game. Yeah. He's gonna be displeased with himself. It's a hard skill to land, but he's been trying to get those kills with it. 1-0-6. A much more supportive score for Doublelift. Yesterday, Doublelift got to find out. Oh.
That's close.
Yesterday, Doublelift found out that as far as all-time NALCS stats go, he has the most kills, most CS, and most gold earned. So he was pretty proud about that.
Doublelifting.
CLG plays more fast games like this where everyone's contributing, though. It's going to hurt his stats.
Everybody contributing like
get the wins.
A 5-0-4 Link. Full kill participation in this game for him. The first one was really coming off that roam bottom. Link knows what needs to happen no matter what champion he plays. Right now the calls from Dexter say the inhibitor turret is theirs and they can do it with brute force.
They are powering through. At this point, even though X-Smithy's positioned where an Eve would want to be, an initiation would be suicide. XGG going into this game had low damage, and they needed to be the ones that got the 5,000 or 10,000 gold advantage early on in the game. The exact opposite has happened.
Yeah.
So even though this is like a 13,000 or 14,000 gold lead, the effective disadvantage is even more. CLG in complete control.
Turrets on the outside are very low. They would only take a bit of prioritizing from XDG to get themselves some gold, but do they even have the time to get to these lanes? Nien says no. They want the initiation right away, one after the other from off of the screen. CLG just starts taking people down.
Doublelift tried to get that shot percentage up. Miss all the super mega death rockets you don't take. Taking messages from Hotshot GG, who was on the team early on in the season when they had a misjoined roster. Now everyone's together. CLG trying to close.
Yeah, the roster shuffle finally being in place is definitely helping out CLG within this game a little bit more than XDG, who showed strong yesterday, but still can't seem to get through the perseverance of Counter Logic Gaming here, consistently playing in a way that cannot be stopped.
At this point, XDG may as well surrender. They have a jungler farming the top lane.
Yeah.
Right now.
Doing what they can.
Guys.
Doing what they can.
He was trying to stop the push.
Hey, you got to go for broke somewhere.
Yeah, but they just killed it anyway.
Oh, is this the time? No. No going for broke just yet. Only a few bits of hit coming in from Zuna.
It's a 16,000 gold lead. Yeah, this last fight was just CLG showing how strong they are. Flashing in for Leona ultimate. And like you said, pretty much off the screen, only 2 people were really in melee range at the start of that fight. Dexter was in the base, fighting the base.
Wow, crazy just going in. Benny, Smithy, Sheep already down, and the rest are limping away from the fight right now as CLG brute forces their way onto the Nexus turrets. 13-2, 10 turrets, 11 turrets now to 0. The shutout and control of the structures. The Nexus is going to go down, and CLG brings a win streak to 4 to set a new record for themselves.
Yeah, and in style, too. 26-minute victory, smiles all around for CLG. We're wondering now, with the lead and the new communication structure for CLG, how quickly they would be able to close out on a big advantage. Turns out pretty fast. That was a 26-minute domination of an XDG team who beat the second-place team in the league yesterday, Cloud9. So, incredibly powerful performance by CLG.
Very strong play from all of the lanes. Is that 5 and 8 all together. 5, 0, and 8 for Link. Full kill participation throughout this entire game, and he plays a new champion in the mid lane since he came out of the jungle. So far, he's tried his hand for Blanc, Lulu, Ori, and now Ziggs. He did crush. He usually does. He says he's not the one to control the game, but he did some great controlling there with an early roam.
The roam down bottom really started everything going. Everyone on the team, though, with a huge performance. Nien, one of his best games of the season, I'd have to say, on Shyvana. Just manhandling Benny's Mundo in that top lane.
Well, that's his 8th game on it. People have to start recognizing that the top lane is a place to be reckoned with, especially that Shyvana. We talked about balls earlier. It becomes a champion to be reckoned with as it goes into the late game.
Yeah, and now I'm actually kind of starting to wonder, with CLG now winning 4 games in a row.
Yep.
They're
10 and 6.
If they're going to start getting in their own heads with overconfidence. Like, it's happened to CLG in the past. Doublelift after that game was...
Maybe.
I think I was trying to mouth what he was saying. It was like easy or something, or too easy maybe.
Oh.
And obviously they're having fun with it. But I'm just throwing it out there that when a team gets hot like this, we look at Fnatic over in Europe, where they won 7 games in a row, lost 8 in a row. It can happen where you get so confident after so many people are giving you high fives, pats on the back. Great job coming together, guys. It even happened to XGG last split. As soon as they got a bunch of credit for all their success, they started going downhill again. It's starting to happen for CLG, Riv.
CLG has shown strong. We could see, right.
Yeah.
It may happen
so
for CLG. That's that, I can't even think. I'm going to say potential now, but it's that false hope that everybody has. I don't think it's actually
there.
Hope is
pretty real.
The hope is real. They have come out so strong. Dexter really seemed... one player usually doesn't make that difference, and we've seen it in 2 teams. Team Solo with Bjergsen and Dexter. And it's been absolutely crazy that 2 positions, mid and jungle, can have that kind of force on a game if you bring in the right person.
Yeah, everything is connected. You know, it's a team game. Even though it seems like someone's in an individualist matchup in a lane, it has so much impact and cross-play throughout the entire map.
All right, well, right now we have to flash away, but when we come back, Doublelift and Afro will join Freak and Kobe to talk about making CLG history. Then Curse looks to tie up the standings with Team Coast when they do battle in our final LCS game of the day. The action continues after this.
Really powerful push. They're very low.
Whoa! Sheep was not able to really do anything
and
on that
stole
one.
it.
This smite coming in from Dexter on the play. The shot calls are being made, and the team follows through, and they listen. Clearly, good kills coming out. They get one. Xmithy is very low. Benny with a satchel charge backwards.